check 1, 2. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I just had my coffee today, and I'm feeling it. Okay, so today I've been recording the demos and a cover for "I Thank God" by Maverick City, and I just got done with those. It literally took me like probably 8 different tries to get through the whole cover of Maverick City's "I Thank God." I would always mess up somewhere after the bridge. I would totally forget where I am because this song involves a guitar slide. And if you're not familiar with playing with a slide, it's a little bit of getting used to, because the way that I've been playing it is I have the slide on my pinky. And it's kind of like if you ever see a dog when they wear like little dog shoes and they like try to walk. That's what having a slide feels like when you're trying to play other things without using the slide. Once you actually start using the slide for, like, for example, the beginning part, it goes like that part is really good. But when you get to the choruses, it goes like. So now that slide is just kind of hanging there, and it's so weird because sometimes you'll want to use your pinky and you'll forget that you're actually having a slide on there, and then you'll do like. It's weird. So I'm glad I got through that. I will get those that cover out, and another video recorded earlier today was the patch demo that I'm playing through for the Line 6 Helix, HX Stomp, HX Effects, and Pod Go. So I'm actually playing through that today, and if you're interested in the sounds and you play this song at your church, I know I've played this a few times at my church, and I am using it. Feel free to click the link below and go to my website and pick that up for yourself. But today I'm just going to do a kind of a live tutorial on how I'm playing this song. So the first thing that you need to know is that this song is in D flat. And you can either choose to tune your guitar a half step down, or you can choose to play it in D flat. It's just going to be a little weird if you're not used to playing in flat keys. But here's that intro part, and I'm using it with a slide on my pinky, and I'll show you why I'm using it on my pinky a little bit later. So here we go. So if you're unfamiliar with using a slide, I just came up with a tutorial for Homecoming, Corey Asbury and Bethel's song recently, and David Hislop, I think that's how you say his last name, he's using a slide on the choruses. So I've been in slide mode recently. I just, at church, I've been using the slide a lot, just trying to get better at it, just because of how difficult and different it is versus using your fingers and playing the frets. So if you're unfamiliar with using a slide, what you want to do is you want to get right on top of the metal part of the fret, and not usually when you play with your fingers, you want to get right in between the frets. But the actual pitch that you want to find, you're going to have to hover the slide right over top of the metal part instead of the middle in between parts. Here's the difference between that. That's like right in the middle of the fret. You want to be right on top of that metal part. And so you're going to want to be on top of the metal parts every time you play with your slide. So like, for example, when I go from the 1, the D flat, to the 4, which is the G flat, you're going to want to be right on top of that fret. Okay. Another thing you want to keep in mind is when you're playing with a pick, versus your fingers using a slide, you're going to want to take control of really muting strings and being really, really intentional with that. So like, for example, that part when I go from, you're going to make sure, so how I play that first part is I'm actually barring the, since we're in D flat, that would be the 6th fret, the D string, G string, and B string. And then what you're going to do is on your B string, you're going to slide from the 6th string to the 7th string, or 7th fret, and back down. But what you're going to do is you're going to strum that first, that bar right there on the 6th fret. And then what you're going to want to do is mute that D string and G string before you go, because if you don't, it's going to sound like this. And that doesn't sound good. So how I'm doing that is you're using everything in your picking hand to mute that D string and G string right before you go to hit that 7th fret back to 6th fret. So like, watch how I'm doing that. Just that subtle palm mute, and you're going to want to be really conscious about that. So I'm wearing this slide for the majority of the song. So obviously that intro part is really iconic. And then when you get to that bridge, I'm going to switch over to my dirty snapshot. Actually, you know what? I'm going to stay on the intro snapshot because I want a little bit more compression. Because I'm going to use the slide when we do the swells. So when you enter the verse, it's still on that D flat. And then you die, but then you come in on the 4, which is your G flat. So that's going to be on technically your 11th fret, still barring the D string, G string, and B string. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to slightly go flat and then come back up. So you're going to start right on top of the fret, go flat, and then come back up. That really adds a cool mood to it. And then you're going to finish it off on the 1, your D flat. And then come back. And then you're in the second half of the verse. So that's kind of how I'm playing all the verses. Make sure you're using your volume pedal to do all those swells. And then you go to the pre-chorus. So I'm going to switch over to my dirty snapshot, and that's going to be the 5, which is your A flat. So I'm going to go over those chords. It's going to be just like your traditional F chord, but it's going to be starting on the 6th fret with your ring finger. And what it is, it's really the top half of a bar chord, but you're just going to play the top. So with the slide still on there, then you're going to bar your 1, which is your D flat, 6th fret. So it's going to be D string, G string, B string. And then you're going to play your 4, which is your G flat first inversion. So how you're doing this is you're going to keep your finger barred on the 6th fret, and then hammer on your middle finger to the 7th fret B string, and then ring finger to the 8th fret D string. Back down to your 1. So it goes 5, 1. Actually, your second chord is actually your 6. So it's kind of like your 1, but it's minor. So it's going to be your B flat minor. So it's 5, 6. So what you're going to do is you're going to bar still your D string, G string, and B string, and then add your ring finger to the 8th fret D string. So it goes 6, 4 to the 1, to the 5, 6, And then on the 4, you're going to build it. So then you're in the chorus. So the chorus is going to be on the 1. Still barring that 6th fret to the 4. And then technically it's going to be a 1 over 3, but we're just going to play the top half, which is your D flat, in a different shape. So it's the exact same shape that you're playing your A flat, your 5 chord. So it's going to be to your G, and then you're going to start on the 11th fret, which is going to be your 1 over 3 technically. And then how I'm doing it is I'm barring my ring finger on the 11th fret to form my G flat 4 chord. So I'm going to start from the beginning. And then go to your 6. And then I'm going to my 4 here. So it goes. Then you're into the intro. Okay. I'm going to pause right there. You guys have any questions? How you guys doing? How y'all doing? If you're just coming in, I mentioned earlier that I had my coffee today, so I'm like super jittery. All right, so on the bridge, see, I'm trying to remember the bridge. It goes. Okay. So, oh yeah, it's the Heaven Lost Another One, or Hell Lost Another One. Not Heaven. Hell Lost Another One, I Am Free. So, yeah, it goes to the 1 there. And this is the part where I take off the slide because it's so, like, kind of spontaneous, and it I want to have my extra finger to, like, throw in some licks and stuff. So, it's just vamping on the 1 for a while. So I like to just like throw things in there, and if you're unsure of like what to play or like what kind of licks to throw in there, what I would recommend is just to sit with the song if you're preparing it for like church or whatever. If you're sitting with the song, try to overplay as much as possible while you're at home practicing, and that will really like flush out a whole bunch of different ideas. And what's going to happen is the more you practice at home and the more ideas you just throw out there at the song, by the time you get to Sunday, obviously don't play as busy as you can, but you'll have those things, even if you're not thinking about it all the time, it'll be at the back of your mind to like throw in there, and you'll already have practiced it. So then it's kind of just muscle memory at that point. And then you'll be able to just kind of insert those different things that you practiced at home. So one of the cool things is like that I was practicing, like things like that, just to punch out and then come back and let the vocals come in, but not like shredding the whole time, just because there's some vocals that need to kind of pop out during that bridge. So then after you vamp on the 1 a bunch of times, a bunch of measures, you're going to go to the actual progression. So it's going to be 5, 6, and then I think it's 4-1. So then it'll go to that progression, and then I already kind of went over the shapes. So then after that, you're gonna dive down to the chorus, and man, I am drawing a blank on how the rest of the song goes. But then it goes into like a spontaneous section where it kind of drops down at the end of the song. And actually, at my church, we really don't do the 7.5-minute version. We usually do like the first 5 minutes or whatever. And then we usually kind of, most of the time, we'll only play the 5 minutes, but sometimes we'll jump in. Like, for example, like our student ministry loves the song. So we'll like kind of vamp and maybe do the full version spontaneous. But I hope that this video helped you, and be on the lookout for the actual cover that I do, where I actually play along with the track. And I've got a patch demo video only displaying that. It's only like a couple minutes long, coming out after that. So if you guys don't have any questions, I will be on my way. So I'm going to vamp a little bit. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and I'll try to answer them if I went too fast or I skipped over something. If you guys are interested in the preset for the Line 6 Helix, HX Stomp, HX Effects, and Pod Go, I included a gospel lead in there. This is an adaptation of the Gyra patch that I created that is designed for I Thank God. So I know that there really isn't a whole lot of gospel lead sounds in the actual recording, but I thought I would include this in there if you decide to use this in your church or a live setting or whatever, just so that you have another dynamic layer above that, so that you can poke out if you need to, just so you have that within the preset. And that's what this sounds like. This is what the original like intro part sounds like. And then this is the gospel lead snapshot. It's a little bit more overdrive in there. Yeah, so that's what that snapshot sounds like. But if you guys don't have any questions, I will see you guys in the next video, and I hope you have a great week. See you.